Hey guys, I'm Ricky. Tell me, have you ever suffered in order to help someone? I have. Here's my story of how I caught a thief, but let him go. It all started when a new guy, Mike, came to our school. As usual, fitting in was difficult, and to make matters worse, he was shy and quiet. Naturally, our cooler classmates began to make fun of him from day one, but I felt sorry for him and I wanted to help him. Probably because I was in his shoes too. So we started talking and soon we became friends. We spent a lot of time at school and in music classes. Sometimes I even invited him to my house to play Xbox or just hang out, and we became close pretty quickly. I was very happy about it because Mike was basically my only real friend. Problems with our friendship started right after my birthday. My parents gave me some birthday cash and I decided I wanted to buy a new guitar. I was crazy happy about it and I wanted to share my excitement with a friend. So I invited Mike over, we sat down at the computer to look through guitars on the internet, and we finally found the best one. Oh yeah, a Fender Stratocaster. It's not just a guitar, it's a dream. It was expensive and I wanted to make sure that I had enough money. So I took a box off my shelf and counted the bills. It was perfect. Soon I would have the best guitar and maybe we could even get together a band. I was so excited. And I was even happier that I could share this feeling with my buddy Mike. So my father and I went to the store. And there it was. My dream. I touched it, picked it up, and played a riff. Oh my God! That was awesome! I was definitely taking it. The sales guy put it in the case, and all I had to do was pay for it. I took out my box and started counting the money, and I noticed that I was surprisingly $200 short. I looked at my father in confusion, and he understood what had happened. Long story short, we didn't buy the guitar that day. In fact, I had to have a long and unpleasant conversation with my parents about how I didn't know how to manage my money and that I had to learn how to do it. But the thing is, I didn't spend it, I swear. It was just gone. A week ago, I had the right amount and I did not take a penny from my box. So in my search for an answer, I scrolled through last week's memories and unfortunately, I found one. Mike was in my room and he saw exactly where I put the box. He must have taken the money when I wasn't paying attention. I mean, damn. I did not expect that from him. I mean, we're friends, I thought. I wanted to settle this problem peacefully without having to tell my parents. So the very next day, I went up to Mike and I said, I know that you took my money and I want it back. I was expecting that he would say that he didn't do it and that I was wrong. But no, he started to apologize and honestly admitted that he did it. But I was more surprised when he explained the reason to me. Mike said he was having family problems right now. His dad was drinking heavily and not caring for him at all. So Mike had to go shopping all by himself, cook, do household chores, plus they didn't have any money. He was embarrassed to ask for help, so he just took the money from me and he was gonna give it back when things got better, but now he regrets what he did so much. Of course, after this, I couldn't get angry for him for what he had done. It was clear that he needed help, and as a good friend, I had to help him. I felt sorry for Mike, and I tried my best to help him, but I'm just a kid in high school. How much could I really? I gave him my pocket money so he could at least eat normally, but that didn't help much. A couple of weeks later, he told me some terrible news. Because of the alcohol, his dad had health problems and landed himself in the hospital. The treatment was really expensive and they had no savings at all. So Mike was just frustrated and didn't know what to do. He said that if he went to social services, his father would lose his parental rights and he could have to look for guardians. I felt like I was the only one who could help him, so I decided to ask my parents to help Mike directly. But they refused. They said Mike could come over for dinner or even stay the night at our house if things at his home were really bad, but they were not going to help strangers with money. But they didn't realize he wasn't a stranger to me. He was my best friend. I didn't have anyone else. Then I decided that I would help him at any cost, and I knew how. All I had to do was steal my mom's credit card. I knew her PIN. I've seen her enter it 1,000,000 times. Then I'd withdraw the money and give it to Mike, and Mom would think that she just lost her card. Look, I know stealing is bad, okay? Especially stealing from your parents, but I knew I was doing a good deed, so I didn't have any doubts about it. In the morning, I quietly took a credit card from my mother's purse. When she dropped me off at school, I didn't go to class. Instead, I ran to the nearest ATM and withdrew $2,000. Then I broke the card and threw it in the trash. At school, I gave the money to Mike and I told him that everything was going to be okay. I can't tell you how grateful he was to me for that. This money meant a lot to him because now he could use it to save his dad. But I got in a lot of trouble for this. An hour later, my mother came to school to pick me up. She was furious. It turned out that as soon as my mom saw the notice of withdrawal, she discovered that her card was missing and called the bank. She was told that the money was taken from an ATM near my school. Mom immediately realized that it was me, and I had a very difficult conversation with my parents. They were yelling at me like never before. Honestly, I thought they were literally going to kill me. That's how scared I was. They realized that I had given the money to my friend. They found out his address, and we all went to Mike's home together. And this is where the biggest disappointment of my life happened. When we got to their house and knocked, a man opened the door for us. No, we were not at the wrong house. That was Mike's dad, perfectly healthy and normal. Then my parents told him everything. Mike had nowhere to go. He got scared and confessed. His father was completely shocked by what he had heard. Of course, he found out that his son first stole the money and then tricked me into giving him even more. He committed a crime, and now he had to answer for it. My parents insisted on calling the police, but I just wanted to get this over with. Mike's father shouldn't have to suffer for what his son had done, and I didn't want to cause him any trouble. So we agreed that he would just give us the money that Mike stole. To be honest, I didn't really care about the money, because at the end of the day, all I really lost was my friend. Well, if he was a friend to me at all. Maybe he was just trying to gain my trust in the first place so he could cheat me later. I don't know. But now I have learned my lesson. You need to be more attentive to people. And of course, I should have listened to my parents. If I had followed their advice, none of this would have happened at all.